All right. Hey, everybody. Here we are on Facebook Live. Welcome. I'm Don McCoy, president of the Fulshear-Katy Area Chamber of Commerce. Welcome to Chamber Chat. We do it every Tuesday at 10 a.m. And it's Tuesday at 10 a.m. And today we have one of my favorite people in the chamber and just an all-around great person. She's also our head wrangler in charge of our wrangler committee, none other than Carey Handley with Page by Page Graphic Design. So say hello to everybody, Carey.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining. Hi, Don.
How is your day going? What's going on in your world? And tell us about the leopard print behind you. I just had to pull that.
Oh, so that's actually a photo that I took at the Houston Zoo several years back.
Wow, that's a great photograph. How far away, or were you really that close to that leopard?
I had a 300mm lens, so I love taking wildlife pictures.
I didn't know that. So you're a wildlife photographer?
I wouldn't call myself a photographer. I could probably be a photographer if I could learn to get it off auto. But,
okay.
Yeah. I work more on the composition.
Well, yeah, I can see the composition in your picture. Well, coming from a graphic design background, I'm sure composition is all about what you have. And as in my background here with my Zoom, I have, the TV and the flag, and you've got a little bit of the horse. Well, it's kind of backwards here. A little bit of the horse here. And I made this a composition. And maybe that's something we could chat about because you have your composition behind you. Now, I've got nothing against people with a background like a green screen, or some people have a thing that is printed up that they just put up behind them that has their company logo on there. Now you can design those, right, Carey, and get those made for people to use as a legitimate background. Is that right?
Absolutely. I've already done several for some of my clients.
And I like the real backgrounds a little bit better because the green screens are great but if you don't have good lighting or something, part of your face will disappear. Right. Little things. If you have a green coffee cup, it'll disappear while you do this. So
it's interesting because there are a couple of schools of thought with backgrounds, and they tell you even the background I have, which is my office. People could be looking like you did. The first thing you centered in on is that leopard, and people could be looking at my books or things behind you. So some people say the simpler the better on that, but I like the touch of realism, like you.
Mm-hmm. I do too. The only thing that I have an issue with is this window right here. Sometimes gets a little over bright, but it's in the morning and you can see everything move, so it does make it for a little more composition as well. And my plants down here, these poor guys, I'm not a green thumb, but evidently they're my babies and need to be watered. Look at this. I even have this here where I water, So, but anyway, we all have our backgrounds.
That's a good job for Nibbles to take care of, right?
Absolutely. Nibbles, my squirrel. One thing that we've always talked about is marketing, and that's what we are both into in different ways, but also in a lot of the same ways. And Carey, what's important in your background that we're looking because we're doing a lot of Zoom now, and we're online a lot. And we've got a blitzer today at 1:30, for instance. And so tell us, I know I'm gonna let you take, what do you think a background should have in it? As you said, new composition, we know that, but how about stuff about you, right?
Well, yes. I mean, you see my canvas back there that got my avatar on it, which is important to me. Some of those books are my graphic design books, but it just depends. Do you want people to focus on the background, or I took away some of the pictures that were on my background on my bookshelves because it was distracting. People would be looking and saying, oh, that's her daughter at Disney World or whatever. And so that doesn't need to be in it.
I see. I noticed that you have the little Carey. If you notice back here, right here, that you made that canvas for us that has that has our name and everything. So I think branding your company when you're on Zoom subliminally is very important because it may not, they may not even say anything about it, but it imprints your business, like your little avatar there that is over your right shoulder. You use that on a lot of things. That's kind of your brand. You've made little keychains out of her and things like that. So branding, talk to us about branding,
Right.
Carey.
So you'll notice I'm also wearing my logo colors, except for the white. I'm wearing my hot pink and my black.
And you're wearing the
And
chain.
yes, I am wearing my horse head pin. So the avatar came because I did not want my photo on my business card. I'm uncomfortable with that. But I meet a lot of people through networking and other places, and I wanted to have some sort of a reminder of who I was. So I created that avatar and I use it on all of my marketing and my branding. Actually, I have a logo. People don't realize that I have a logo, and it's actually on the back of my cards. But the avatar is the focus on the front of my cards.
That's interesting. So anything can be a branding part of your business. It can be just a simple, like our horse head is our brand, but our full logo is the Fulshear-Katy Area Chamber of Commerce. But we use the horse head. I do it on my shirt, you know, and so you can help design logos. Is that right, Carey?
To a certain extent, yes. I am not, I'm a designer and not an artist. So basically what that means is if I was an interior designer, I could probably tell you where to, you know, which drapes you need to hang, but I wouldn't be creating the drapes. I wouldn't be designing the pattern in the drapes, but I could tell you which drapes would look good in your house. It's the same thing with design. I'm not an artist. I don't draw, I don't paint. Everything I do is computer based. So there are limits. As long as you're not going to trademark your logo, you have a little bit more leeway in how you can use stock graphics. And usually I use them as jumping off points. I do some things from scratch, but there are limits. And I do have other people that I can hire to do things that require more finessed artwork.
I got you. Well, I just got a few people commenting here. Tina Kane. Hello, Tina. How are you?
Tina.
She says your background can speak well about you, about who you are, and without saying a word. And she made note of my American flag, and I think that's good. And Christina Luang Scott says hello and good morning, friends. So you have quite an audience here this morning, Carey.
These are people that are so important to me. And Tina actually is a client that said something so important a few years ago. She said that now I design and print just about anything in print, from business cards and name badges on up to even vehicle wraps. But she said that your business card has to speak for you when you are no longer in the room. And that's true with all of your marketing pieces. And I have remembered that. And that's a really important thing that I talk to clients and prospects about. Is she's right. Whether it's through the design or the design and the print stock that I use, that's what needs to be present for you and be it's my job is to get clients noticed, but most of all remembered by their clients and their prospects through print marketing.
That's really important to keep in mind. So I'm going to repeat that. Is that when you leave the room, it's almost, you got to leave that impression when you walk out. I noticed that some of the cards you've designed, they're beautiful and they're nice, but also there's a certain texture to the cards that I love. That suede texture has been very popular. And a lot of times if I hand my card to somebody, I say, don't read my card, feel it first, you know? And guess what? That just little comment sort of sticks with them. Nobody ever says, feel my card, right? But you guys can use that. That's free marketing right there.
Well, I can print on, my cards are silk, and I can print on the suede like yours. I can print on wood. I can print on glitter stock. I can print on cork. I mean, there's material that goes into, I'm very tactile. like you apparently are with the suede. I mean, I love things that that not only look good but feel good, and it's a whole package.
Yeah.
And when you go to a networking function, I mean, next time you do that, take a look at the cards you come home with and see which ones are going to stay with you, things that you want to keep at your place of business or your home. What's going to be memorable to you, memorable enough that's not going to be a stock design, that's going to be something that is designed with everything in mind that goes into good design, typography, colors, making sure the colors that you use are print colors and not web colors. I mean, because that makes a big difference in the final outcome.
Okay. Well, those are some technicalities that I'm not aware of, that we lean on you for that expertise. Tina says you noticed and then you remembered. Hey, about that. You know, I watched the other night, I don't know if you're a Jerry Seinfeld fan, but I can watch reruns of Seinfeld all the time. And Newman, who's the postman on that show, he gave somebody found his business card and it just had U.S. Postal Service. And the only thing on the whole card was Newman. And I mean, sometimes simple is better. Try not to overcomplicate your messaging so your message actually gets through everything. But it's a good idea. Look at the cards you get at networking events and see which ones tend to pop out at you, or, you know, texture. It's all the senses. Now, I'm not saying make your card where it has a smell or like a scratch and sniff or anything. Who knows? Somebody might do that. If they have a perfume company, they may have that card that if you scratch here, you'll smell their latest perfume. There's an idea for somebody.
Another point too, Don, is when it reminds me of when I got somebody had put a business card on my door. They wanted to sell whatever service they were providing to me. And I looked at the card and it was a stock design that I know they got online. I know where they got it. But it had spelling errors on it. And the layout was wrong. And I'm thinking, you know, if they're not taking care of their own branding and what they're putting out to the client, what are they going to do in my house if they came to work for me? Well, I would not hire somebody that did not take care in what they're putting out, because that shows a lack of caring for their own business.
The attention to detail. That's one of those things. I applaud you, Carey, because you catch me on a lot of things. I go 0 to 90 in no time, and then I love it that you come, hey, did you realize that this was this, and you kind of misspell. I do that all the time, and it's a flaw. But what's great is I have a lot of chamber members that love to correct me or find my mistakes. But the red letter day is whenever I catch something from Carey and I can say, Carey, I got you.
How many times has that happened?
One time. But still, it's like winning one Super Bowl in your lifetime. But it's you know, we all make mistakes, but I guess the point here is it's always good to have someone check your work and you know, make sure there's, because you know, even typing errors, or you thought you typed it right, and even Fulshear, the word Fulshear, I've seen, I don't know how many times it's been Flusher, Flushear, and it's easy to make those mistakes, and then you're just reading. And I think, wasn't there a guy one time that did something, he made a paragraph that the words were all misspelled and the words were jumbled up, but you could still read it. It's very interesting. Let me ask about in the design world, and like I said, that's a very good point that you're not an artist, you're a designer. When we get into trademarks, I just want to do this for the benefit of everyone out there, is that there are two types. There's a registered trademark and a trademark, a TM and an R. And you got to be careful. If you, I mean, our horse is a TM, it's a trademark, a little TM at the very bottom. And that means it's trademarked for the area. I don't have to register that. I don't have to say anything. I don't have to go through any kind of a vetting process for that. But that is a well-known brand within my market area. So it's very inexpensive. And if anyone else was to come in and start using our horse, I would have a case. to cease and desist. However, if you decide to register your trademark, that's a national registry. And if you, that means they could take our horse. And if I wanted to nationally register it, it would be an expensive search nationwide. And if anyone came anywhere close to that, I could not use it. But I don't do business nationwide. Well, I kind of do, but still, the point is be careful when you're talking about trademarks. So, Carey, you can attest to that, but make sure your design is unique and kind of get on the internet and look around, right?
Right.
Thinking of a logo, right?
Right. And if you're using stock graphics, you need to check with the company you're purchasing from. Some do not allow certain graphics to be used as if you're going to trademark it. If you're not going to, then, it probably shouldn't be done. But some of them have licenses that you can purchase
Right.
on top of the license that you're buying that particular graphic. So you have to be careful with that as well.
Yeah, you can buy logos. There's myriad of places online you can buy logos and make it your own, and in some cases not too terribly expensive. So
Well, there's one. Can I interject something about that? There's I carry with me 4 business cards that look identical, the same graphics and everything, but they're from 4 different companies. So what these 4 people did is they went online to a do-it-yourself site and they purchased the same graphics. And so that doesn't give you your individuality or uniqueness,
Yeah.
what sets you apart from every other company. Without looking at the names, you would think it was the same company. And that's not helping your business, because what you want to do is set yourself apart and be unique. And that's where I come in.
Absolutely. Well, there you go. And that's what you need to be, is unique, and you can help do that. So we have on our other site, FKACC Business Support Group. Do you make signs? We're talking about Brenda Scott has these signs those SWBP that stick out in the ground outside, design outside signs. I do them for our events and things like that, but she's asking if you do those.
So I do just about everything in print, and the large format printing I do can be signs like aluminum composite, like your real estate signs. I've done a brushed aluminum for an outdoor monument sign before. I do the coroplast signs. What I do is I design them, and then I use a lot of wholesale vendors where I try not to charge any more than they would, but the difference is that I will deliver the job. I will bring the job to the client. I will make sure that everything is good start to finish. And so yes, signs, tents, banners, table covers, on the large format signs.
So there you go, Brenda. She'll be happy to design those and get them printed for you. So and deliver them. That's even better. Because a lot of times that time is of the essence. A lot of times.
When I started my business 21 years ago, there weren't a lot of home-based businesses, so I had to find ways to set myself apart from the other businesses that I was competing with. And one of the things that I do, not only do I deliver things when they're done, but I meet with clients where it's convenient with them, and I'll spend an hour or 2. I've actually spent 3 hours with one of my clients to get to know them, because relationship building is paramount to my business success and to the success that I have creating things for the clients. If I don't know who you are, it's not a 15-minute, hey, this is what I need, and me do it. I have to find out about you and learn who you are, what your goals are, what your personality is like, because all of that goes into the design, and that's important as well.
Brenda Scott says thank you. She's got to run, but looks like you got a client coming your way.
Be delighted.
Also, I think when you make all these signs and you're helping people when you meet with them, that's what I preach all the time, and we preach here at the Chamber. Return on investment is one thing, but return on relationships is everything. Wow. Hey, I just made that up. Okay, write that down. Return on investment is one thing, but return on relationships is everything.
Well, I'm very blessed that a lot of people that started out as clients have become friends.
Mhm.
And it's from that relationship building. And that's, you know, I have clients that have been with me since the very beginning. And I, that's just, that means the world to me, because I try to treat them with the authenticity and the honesty. And if
Yeah.
if I can save money for a client by using a different vendor, that's what I do. And all
Well,
that goes into it.
and you've been, you're, what I do love is your honesty, because when I come up with a particular graphic or something, you'll kind of go, you know, but I love it. I mean, come on, it's, we're all in this together, and we help each other be better at what we do. So since the pandemic, I want to touch on that a little bit, but is there anything that you can tell our viewers that maybe you have incorporated in your style of business? Because we're not networking so much face to face, but how are you marketing your business? Is there any ideas that you have for something?
Well, a lot of what the clients that I'm seeing are clients that I've had for the long term. There are some new clients that have come on this past year. Trina Maxwell is a wonderful, wonderful person, and she had created, I think it was 12 monthly meetings before the pandemic hit. And I ran I ran one and I co-ran one with Angela Scooey. Those have obviously been shut down. We're not meeting in person. They were, the ones that I was working on were held at retirement communities, and so they're not inviting us in at this point. We started out in the beginning where we were doing Zoom meetings for all of these, and through time, people got a little tired of the Zoom. We still have one that we meet with on the first Friday of the month. I'm trying to, you know, reach out to, you know, you have to ask for referrals. That's a big help. So I have had some referrals over the past year, and it's actually given me a chance to think about strategizing my own business. How do I want to be perceived by people? I haven't had much. I was very blessed last year. I did not have much downtime at all, just from doing things like that, and working with the relationships that I had already built, making sure that people knew that I was still here for them. I called all of my clients at least once during the pandemic, just not to, because it's not me to call them just to get business. That's not what it was at all. I was genuinely concerned to make sure that everybody was okay and to see if anybody needed anything. And caring for your clients is really an important facet of any business, really. And genuinely caring, not just, I'm going to care today so I can get business tomorrow. That's not how I work at all. I never have worked that way.
Well, that's a great business advice, is whether they use your business for a product or a service, but it's the fact that they can come to you and get a solution to whatever their problem or issue may be. That's one of the things I love about our chamber is I may not have all the answers, but I certainly know somebody that might have that answer and guide you to that person. So all of a sudden, I become a solutions provider. And in the world of all of our members, we are providers. We know each other well enough that if I go to Carey, I need somebody that can do plumbing. Well, you know somebody maybe in the chamber that you can refer them to, and you just became a solutions provider.
That's one of the things that I did do, that I have done all along, is I try to make connections. And there's a right way to do connections, and there's a wrong way to do connections. And the way that I like to do connections, if I'm going to connect two people, I'm going to send an email to both of them. And I'm going to say, here's, person A, here's why I think person B would be an asset for you to know, and here's the contact information. And then person B, here's why you should meet person A. Here's how I think you would work well together. And I've done that many times. Just to say to somebody, hey, you ought to call so-and-so, that's not in my way of thinking, that's not how I like to make connections. I don't think that's as effective.
Now that you brought that up, what a great segue. And we don't plan these at all. But on our phone, you can see that we have an app right there. It's got the horse head. You can download that app. And when you download the app, right here, if you can see, it says pass a referral. Now we have this ability for every member that if you click that, and like you were saying, I'm talking to somebody, I can actually send a referral to somebody, and they say, okay, I have just sent Carey a referral because you asked me about your business cards. So I sent that referral to Carey. Carey's got your phone number now, and she will be calling you. That's one of the things the chamber has, just one of the many things the chamber has available. You've been a member, gosh, how long? 3, 4, 5?
No, actually 2.5 years.
2.5. It seems longer. I'm sorry, Carey.
I hope you meant that in a good way.
I do mean that in a good way. But, oh, by the way, MJ Williams says, thanks, Carey, for your help in November. So what is the chamber? Let's kind of do a little self-service. We got about 4 minutes. So what do you like most about our chamber?
Oh, gosh. Everything from you and Rachel and Amy working together in a really cohesive unit to reach out to members and to find the best solutions for helping them market their business. And you're always your brain doesn't stop. You're like an Energizer bunny. Your brain doesn't stop. And you're always thinking about great ways that you can add services. But I got to tell you, I got to reiterate why I joined the chamber. I knew I was joining the chamber before I ever set foot in a chamber meeting. And many of the people that are probably watching know we have a daughter with special needs. And you and I talked on the phone before, because Len Tierney, a good friend of mine that I've known for 15 or so years, suggested that I come into the chamber. And I said, well, I have my daughter. She doesn't have a program on those days, on Wednesdays. And he said, no, she'd be welcome. And then you called me and reached out. And I said, look, she's a wonderful, wonderful individual, and she wouldn't be any trouble. And I would love, to come and see come to your meeting. But, and you stopped me and you said, hey, she is welcome. We are family-based. We are community-oriented, and she is welcome. I want you to bring her. And I knew from that moment that any group, and I've been members of chambers before where I did not feel that. And any group that was willing to, with sight unseen, welcome myself and my daughter with me to the meetings, that is a group I wanted to investigate. And that day, right after that meeting, I came to your office and I signed up for the chamber, and I started coming to rope cuttings. And before long, it was just a few months that I became a wrangler, and last year became head wrangler. And it has helped my business succeed in ways that I had not anticipated, in a wonderful, wonderful way. I've built relationships, friendships, business relationships, and it's all been a blessing. So thank you, and Rachel and Amy, for that.
Thank you. I remember that vividly, and your daughter is special to all of us here, and I still have her art. She's fantastic. So give my love to Caitlin for me.
I will.
Well, we've blown through 30 minutes like that, Carey. One thing I want to make sure we let everybody know, today at 1:30, we have our Blitzer. You've been a regular on Blitzer, and if you haven't signed up, go to blitzer.com and search Fulshear-Katy area chamber and sign up for Blitzer. It's free, and it's a one-on-one networking, and you'll get a chance to build relationships realistically on there. That's always a lot of fun. You'll have 5-6 minute conversations with somebody you have something in common with that you can do business with on Blitzer. That's BLITZR.com. Also, tomorrow is our monthly membership meeting, and it's at 7:30 at Parkway Fellowship Church. We are meeting live and in person, but it is socially distant. Carey came to the last one. I think it was pretty socially distant. And we'll be having Amy Barker Richards will be there. We're starting up our area community guide again, so that information will be there. We were hoping to have Troy Nels, Congressman Nels there, but he got called back to Washington for a vote, and he may be chiming in via video We hope, but our main speaker is Keith Garvin with KPRC Channel 2. Now, just to let you know, Keith is awaiting a result from the lab for COVID. He's been COVID free, but he has not gotten the ultimate go ahead. And we're hoping to find that out today. So just to let you know, tomorrow, it just might be about our chamber and some of the new tools we have and the texting keywords and the things that we want to share with you coming forward with our chamber. But other than that, we look forward to seeing you there. It's always entertaining. Chad Norvell, our new precinct 3 constable, will be there. And so we'll get a chance to meet him also. And you never know who else might show up at our meeting. It always is fun. But listen, I want to say thank you very, very much, Carey. You are indeed special. It seems like you've been part of our chamber since day one, and I do mean that in a good way. You're always involved, and your ideas are cherished, and so is your family, your husband Boyd. We just love you to death. And with that, I just want to say, you want any parting words? Give us your website, your phone number, how people can get in touch with you.
Sure. Anyone can call 281-703-1040. My website is pagebypageweb.com.
Pagebypageweb.com.
Correct.
And you can always find Carey at the, on our website at Fulshear-Katy.com under our directory. She is there. What's your keyword?
Page by page.
So if you text page by page, make sure it's all one word, to 72727, you're going to find out everything you need to know about page by page graphic design, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, Carey, we love you. Thank you so much. Give my love to Caitlin, like I said, and we'll see you on Blitzer at 1:30 today, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
All right. Goodbye, everybody. God bless every one of you. We'll see you later. See you
Bye.
next week. Bye-bye.